Alright, so guys, back in another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a little thing called materialistic value slash possession and why it's ruining the standard for the way people live. So to get right into it, I just want to start off by saying we're constantly told that success means having stuff, right? We're told that having a flashy car, a big home, and this ideal perfect lifestyle, is the way to go, right? And with social media, it's like everyone else has figured it all out. Everyone's rich except for you. But here's the truth, right? Most of the people who look rich are actually dead broke. They're living on credit, they're leasing expensive cars, they're renting apartments they barely can afford just to look like they have it all together. Now, meanwhile, the people who are genuinely successful, they're not out buying stuff to impress anyone. They're quietly investing in their future, living below their means, and focusing on things that actually matter long term. Now, if you've seen the video right before I made this one, it's talking about the Boglehead investment strategy. That's an investment strategy that, it takes 30, 40, 50, 60 years of long-term investing on a monthly basis to actually get that payout and be able to really live that, that crazy lifestyle that you want to live. Not everyone's going to achieve it in their early 20s. Now, if you choose to invest early and choose to make smart decisions on, maybe something like starting a business or a side hustle, then yeah, so be it. You might be able to achieve that goal faster than others. But the idea of, working a 9 to 5, expecting to buy a Lambo, in 2 years' time, it's unrealistic and just truly not possible. But to be truthful, here's the good news. When you are young, you have a huge advantage, time. You have nothing but time. You can take that risk, you can mess up and still recover. You don't have that risk factor, the point, if you do fail on a business startup, that you lose your house or, you lose your car because you had to sell it for whatever reason to, make back the money you lost, right? But, the more you lock in yourself into things like car payments, credit card debt, or an expensive lifestyle, the less freedom you have to take chances on building something that you can truly set up for your future. Instead of worrying about impressing others with what you own, now is the time to invest in your future, whether it's learning new skills, like I said, starting a side hustle, or just saving up for the right opportunity. It will pay off down the road, especially when you're trying to do something like start a business. Now let's actually talk about how to stop chasing these things, right? Here's a few simple ways to shift your focus on what really matters. Number one, unfollow the flex accounts. I'm talking all the accounts flaunting huge stacks of cash, like I said, huge car collections, insane luxury apartments, all that kind of stuff, right? Anything to do with just majorly flexing on other people about their lifestyle, unfollow all of that shit. I'm serious. It's just going to do nothing but make the standards in your mind unrealistic, especially for you and the people around you. Another thing you need to do is you need to curate your social media to follow people who inspire you with their mindset and accomplishments, not just their material possessions, right? None of that matters. It'll make a huge difference in how you see success. Number two, I've talked about this before. My best performing video on this channel is talking about being frugal. I've actually made 2 different videos kind of mentioning being frugal, and that was what leads me to number 2, track where your money goes. Start paying attention to your spending. The more you see how much you're throwing away on things that don't really matter, the easier it'll be to stop spending that money. And now number 3, ask yourself why before buying anything. I'm serious. This one is huge for a lot of people who are just spending money on coffees every day or, eating out fast food. Fuck that shit, okay? Do you need it at all? Really think to yourself, or are you buying it just to feel good for a minute? Most of the time, the things we think we need, we do not really need to add value to our lives. And number 4, look at what real wealth builders are doing. Look at what the real rich people are doing. I'm talking millionaires, multimillionaires. A lot of people that are flexing this flaunting lifestyle online, a lot of those people are in the single digits of millions, right? Which is still insane, right? It's still very good. But I'm talking about track your multimillionaires, your billionaires on what they're doing, right? Because the people who have long-term wealth, they aren't spending it on flashy things. They're investing in assets, building skills, and creating opportunities for themselves to double, triple, even 5 times their net worth. So another section I want to talk about is where to focus your time and money. I'm talking about, instead of spending your money on stuff, where should you focus the time and the energy? Number 1, start a side hustle. Even if it's something small, getting your hands dirty, learning the ropes of a business, it now gives you time to fail, learn, and grow. without costing you anything. I advocate for this all the time for my younger people, myself included, taking that little bit of money you have saved up from that part-time job, whatever it may be, while still living with mom or dad, whatever, taking that and really trying to start your first kind of business. It's going to be a good trial and error process that will teach you more than you'll realize. Number 2, invest in yourself. Take courses, read books, and build skills that will pay off later. You'll be amazed at how valuable your knowledge becomes over time, especially when you're talking about courses, or even seminars, places where you're going, seeing people who have built, multi-million dollar portfolios, billion-dollar portfolios, going and seeing these people and taking their advice and transferring it over onto your life. I mean, it's bound to pay off. It has to. You're literally taking advice from people who have done it themselves. Same with reading books. You're reading a book created by a person or written by a person who is, been through it all and can give you that advice. That way you don't have to do so much trial and error. Now, with the trial and error, though, obviously, starting a business, like I said in the last point, you are able to fail, which is learning. In order to learn, most of the time, you have to fail in some way. So the key is to just trial and error, especially when building any kind of skill. So now point 3 is my favorite, is save and invest. Even if it's just a little bit, even if it's $25 a week, whatever it may be, saving consistently can turn into something big over the years. And investing early, that's the real key to growing your wealth. If you are young and you are investing, your money is more valuable when you're younger than it is when you're older. I mean, look up any kind of compound interest video. It will straight up tell you that while you are young, investing now makes your money way more valuable in the future. So with that all being said, just to kind of close off the video, here's the bottom line, right? Don't get caught up in the material chase. Delete the social media if you even have to, where you're seeing all this shit. Quit comparing your life to other people's lives, right? Comparison kills joy in so many different ways. It's been quoted a million times. But just focus on building a life that's rooted in real success, not that fake shit. None of that, fake living, none of that renting, really owning something, not just what you can show off. When you're older and you're not financially secure and living life on your own terms, you'll look back and be grateful that you chose to invest in yourself instead of materialistic things. But yeah, I'm basically wrapping it up here, guys. But just bottom line is quit comparing yourself to others. Quit chasing things that have no value unless they're an asset. Don't be afraid to start that business. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to really do what it is you want to do. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for this video. As always, if you do like the video, drop a like. If you want to see more like it, drop a sub. If you have any questions or concerns, leave them in the comments. I'll make sure to answer them. But yeah, that's going to be it. Peace.